button to make sure that everything is working properly. Great. So how many of you would like to see and chat with Mark Gay? Just go to the chat and say I. Good. I want to see all of you saying yes. Give him the hardest time, okay? Ask him the best of the best question. You can grill him left, right, wherever you want to and get the best answer, okay? Because he is such an experienced person, okay?
But we only have 1 hour, right? You can ask me anything you want in the next hour.
So officially, let me just invite you and welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark is, without any doubt, Mark is a TEDx speaker. And those who know about speaking, who are there in the speaking industry, they know that when it comes to TEDx, it is one of the topmost level in the industry. And number two, he's also a champion in ToastMasters. Again, these are two different organizations, and they have their own uniqueness. When it comes to TED Talk, it's just like presenting your unique style. And when it comes to ToastMasters, on the other hand, ToastMasters is a center where you can learn how to speak. And they teach you the professional way of leadership and the professional way of speaking. We are not talking here about public speaking, but we are talking about the rules and the regulations once you, which are set when you get onto the stage and when you are conducting meetings and so forth. And to get, to become a champion in Toastmaster itself is a great achievement. And number two, to get on stage with TEDx, and especially in the United States, it's another challenge. Especially now, if I take, especially when I use the word, especially the third time, especially if somebody is coming from other country, getting onto the United States, getting onto the red carpet, and then addressing the locals, the natives, and speaking to them and addressing them, that is an amazing achievement. Those who have watched me and Mark or the interview, please type I. Just go and type I. Those who have watched the interview, very good. So those who are typing, I know that you know something about Mark and you can ask questions, okay? So this is how it's going to work. But before that, Mark, welcome on board.
Thank you, Faroukh. It's good to be here. It's good to see everyone, and I'm happy to help in the best way I can.
Thank you. Now, this is not an interview. This is an interaction where the Ledge International members, all the members who are there in Ledge International, they have the complete freedom to ask, and with respect, ask to our guest. You can get wisdom from him, because not the knowledge, because knowledge and information you can Google and you can get, but if you talk to somebody who has been there, then each and every word that comes from his or her mouth is a wisdom. So this is how it's going to be. Mark is going to speak for 10 minutes. He can introduce about himself. He can talk about his achievements and so forth. And after 10 minutes, once Mark has done, then it's a Q&A session. We'll have exactly 1 hour. We'll go up to 8:30 Indian Standard Time. So Mark, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Faroukh. It's good to be here. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Guy, and I am a Toastmaster, TEDx speaker, an entrepreneur, and leadership consultant as well. I have been a Toastmasters member for the last 8 years, and I've been privileged and blessed enough to compete in the International Speech Contest, which is the largest speech contest in the world. About 35 to 40,000 people enter every year, and there's rounds and rounds of elimination, I think 6 or 7, until you get to 100 best speakers in the world who compete for the crown of the world champion of public speaking. It is very grueling, intense selection process, but I think the benefits will last a lifetime. You get feedback on your presentation, on your writing, on your storytelling, on your body language, on your delivery, on your presence. It also very important to be mentally fluid and have a very strong mindset in order to encounter rounds and rounds of elimination, and also hear feedback from everyone. As you know, everyone has an opinion, everyone has something to offer, and you have to listen through all the feedback in order to get to the nuggets, the goodness, the wisdom. And So that was a wonderful achievement. And I feel that when you put yourself in a situation where you don't know the outcome, when you don't know whether you will succeed or fail, when you take the risk and put yourself in a competition, it becomes a learning laboratory. It becomes something that accelerates your own skills, whether that's speaking, maybe it's some other industry or some other skill you're trying to develop. When you put yourself in a competition, you grow your skills exponentially and you accelerate your growth. So I recommend that to everyone. And the other thing that Farookh has mentioned very graciously is I was able to share a part of my story about my family, about my siblings, coming from Western Siberia, coming to United States and thriving and working through with my clients and with my community. And the Tedx is either invitation only or you apply to speak, where you can share, where you can talk about ideas worth sharing. It does not have to be a new idea. It could be an idea presented in a new way. One of the things that if you are looking to be a TEDx speaker, apply for it, or maybe you already have in the past. It is something that will create a discipline in your own thinking. It will help you write better communication. It will help you, it will teach you how to ask for help, because in order to get on a TEDx stage, you have to have many different coaches and mentors and people who will help you along the way. So you learn personal skills, communication skills, analytical skills, and all the things that you can translate outside of the TEDx stage. So I'm happy to take any questions, any feedback from anyone here.
I'll start with three questions from the conversation that you had right now. The very first one is, how many of you have ever been to ToastMasters? I know some of you are there. Just type I, please, on in the chat box. Attended at least one meeting in the ToastMasters. Very good. Samir, okay, Samir. Yeah, I know that you all are into ToastMasters. There are a lot of them in ToastMasters, especially those who are in the Middle East. Very good. Now, you all might have experienced one thing, and that's the question that I'm going to ask to Mark right now. Mark, every time you stand on stage, especially I'm talking about the daily meetings that you have in ToastMasters, there are a lot of people who are going to give you feedback, especially feedback on the arms and the ahs and your mannerism and the reputation and so forth. How do you feel when they come and point out about your arms and the ahs? I'm talking about the inside of Mark. Okay, I'm not talking about what you show outside. You might smile, but I'm talking about the inside, Mark, please.
Okay, that's a great question, Farookh. I love it. I love that you asking and you go deep. You're not just asking surface questions. That's why I appreciate your work. So you have to decide in your mind, what do you want? Is it worth to be upset over somebody have said something? Are they even qualified to tell you this? Or maybe this is, maybe a lot of times when somebody gives you feedback in ToastMasters and otherwise, maybe this is the best that they can give you. Mm-hmm. And they don't know any better. Mm-hmm. So perhaps they have seen it in somebody else, or they are not focused. They really only can give you feedback for 2 minutes. Yeah. So you have to ask yourself, are they really invested in my success? Mm-hmm. Are they my coach? Are they my teacher? Are they my mentor? If they are not invested in your success, so that will help you to compartmentalize that feedback. And one of the magic words that I have learned in the past is this: thank you for sharing. And then I can move on.
Wow, that's so powerful. And that's exactly what Simon Sinek does. He goes for a feedback and he collects the feedback from his staff members, and whatever feedback he gets from the staff member, there's only 3 words that he repeats, and that is thank you, and thank you. There is no 4th word. It's only thank you. My second question is, how many of you got the chance to watch Mark on the TED Talk? I had shared the link today. Good. Very good. And those who are currently attending the PSP, or the Professional Speaking and Presentation Blueprint, level 1 and level 2, you know the importance of an opening of a speech. Now, if you had watched Mark, as soon as he comes on the stage, he stands there for a couple of seconds. because he's showing his confidence there. He didn't just burst out from there. He came there, he showed his confidence, he stood on the red carpet, and then he connected. I'm using the word connected. I didn't use the word communicated. He connected with the audience within the first 3 seconds. 3 seconds. He came up with a statement and everybody clapped. Mark, could you repeat what was the statement? And my question is, repeat the statement, and number two, how important it is to connect with your audience within the first 3 seconds.
Wow, this is such a wonderful question, Farookh. If you are a communicator of value, one of the very first things you have to think about, reflect, and really put inside your mind and your heart and your soul is, how can I connect in the best way possible with my audience? And the way that I connect is based on my personality. So whatever your personality is, that is how you will connect. If you feel like you want to be serious, okay, be serious. If you want to be a little bit loose and a little bit more relaxed, okay, be more relaxed. But whatever it is, you have to be you, because the audience can feel. They can feel if you are not being genuine. If they can feel if you are there for just for you. Audience will forgive your accent. They will forgive stumbles, ons and ums, and maybe some not correct verbiage or words, but they will not forgive you if you're not there for them. So every time you take a stage, whether you're in classroom or in front of your peers or prospects or clients or partners, you are there for them. You are there to give them a gift, either of your knowledge or perhaps your conversation or part of your energy. And it is very important to connect in the very beginning. And if you ever done the work for Daniel Kahneman, he is a Nobel laureate in economics. I think he has passed away. He is one of the pioneers in behavioral psychology. He has done studies where he proved in your presentation, there's two most important things: the beginning and the end. This is how our brain works. We remember the beginning. Just don't don't fail in the middle. Don't lose us. Don't do anything that would make it worse. And then make sure your ending is the one that will resonate in the hearts and minds of your audience. So beginning is very important, and the end is even more important. And that's not me saying. That's Nobel laureate in economics saying that.
Wow.
And as far as the opening that I want to say is, I used a little humor.
Yeah.
I said, my mom is always right. And everyone starts laughing. And the whole 800 or 900 people, everyone starts laughing. So as an experienced speaker, I know better than step on my laughter. So I wanted my audience to really enjoy themselves. Because when people laugh, they relax. Excuse me, pardon my voice. I try to illustrate relaxation. And this is what happens in speaking. It's real life. It's not scripted. It's not perfect. Please forgive me.
Yeah, so absolutely. Yes.
It just makes people, you see, I heard this from my mentor, Darren LaCroix, and others. After the height of laughter is the height of listening. So laughter allows your audience to connect to each other and to the speaker.
Wow. How was it? Come on, give your comments. All of you, go to the chat. And how did you find it? Give your comments about the opening, the importance of opening, and importance of humor, because he used his personality there.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I have known and also I teach this to my clients and to my leaders and executive clients that I carry and help and service in my business. I help my clients to relax. And a lot of times we live very deep. We think in our own brain, okay, we have to do so good. If I don't make people laugh in the first 3 seconds, it's a failure. No, it's not. It's give yourself a break. And what really helped me in the past is I have been teaching, taking, and studying the art of improvisation or the art of improv. Not necessarily for comedy, but it helps me to relax. It helps me to really be present on stage and to really be agile and quick in my thinking.
Wow. And it's for sure, as a speaker, it builds your critical thinking.
Improv does, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you want to learn it, you have to teach it. So I am a teacher in improv here where I live, in addition to everything else that I'm doing, because I have to stay sharp. If you, I feel that improv is like
wait. 2 seconds. Talk about India. Start now.
Huh?
Talk about India.
India.
India. 1 minute. Your time starts now. Go ahead.
Okay. I love India. I would like to visit there. I have so many friends from India that I have known over the last 20 years. I have been taking classes, trying to learn the language. I have been going to the restaurants. And when I was a little boy in Siberia, there was a map of the world. And, you know, there's map of Russia, map of Canada, map of United States. And when I look at the map, I always had a question: what is this part of the continent that kind of, you know, like takes the space on the planet Earth? Why is it this way? What kind of people live there? What is this all about? And that started my fascination with India, Indian culture. And I am also a student of myth and legends. So I am collecting vicariously through my friends and through other research about the writings from the myth. So.
Wow. How did you find it? One second, one question on the spot. Come on. Point blank. That is how you should be as a speaker. You must be able to speak about a topic. My last question, and then we'll go to the audience. My last question, Mark, is about you. A couple of times you mentioned about coaches and mentors. How important is to have a coach or a mentor in your life?
Absolutely. A lot of times we think we have great ideas, and we do. We have great ideas. Sometimes we have dreams. They come to our brain at night, or we are having a beautiful tea or coffee, or we are working out or in the shower, and we have this beautiful idea. It's so good. You think it's going to change the world. Maybe. So so make sure you write down that idea quickly before, you know how ideas are. They come and they go, and sometimes they hear and then they're gone next second. So make sure, step number one, you write down your idea. Step number two, have the courage to ask for feedback and just say, okay, I'm not asking for judgment or accusation or anything like that. Just tell me what you think about this. And there's someone right now knows something that you don't know.
Yeah.
Or somebody knows somebody that can help you, or somebody you don't know. There's no way you know everyone. You have access to the best resources, best ideas and strategies. That's why best leaders, as you can say from Simon Sinek and others, they listen, they humble themselves so they can build those networks outside of their normal industry, outside of their normal everyday life, so they can get that sharp, objective feedback to help you keep moving forward. Nobody knows everything. If you don't have the ability to create teams, either for a project now or for the future, I think you're handicapping your professional performance.
Wow. Very well said. Mark, so now I'm stepping back. And Shamir, I need to thank Shamir. Shamir is the one to take control from the back end. He's doing everything sitting in the Middle East. Shamir, thank you very much. Shamir, take over from there, please. Thank you. So whoever wants to speak can unmute and ask question. Just one question. It has to be very clear and to the point. Thank you.
Okay, I can start, right?
Yes, please introduce yourself and then you can start.
Hi, Mark. I'm Shamir from Qatar.
Hi, Shamir.
Hi. I have heard that Siberian tiger, but this is the first time I see a tiger, Siberian tiger. You got it right?
Yes, it's the
Yeah.
first time you see Siberian tiger.
Yes, yes. That you.
Ah, it's me. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay. Since you are not a native speaker of native English speakers, so how did you become the champion speaker in English?
That's a good question. Okay, well, you have to ask yourself, what do you really want? Do you want to be, a lot of times, you know, whether you're a child, a boy or a girl, and you're growing up, you always have dreams, right? You always have dreams. I would like to be this engineer that invents something, or this doctor that does something. Or perhaps for me, it was always about telling stories, about communicating. And I always felt, since I was a little boy, I always felt that I always had something to share. There was, when I had, you know, going out with my siblings or my relatives, there's never just like, you know, you see a little pen, right? It's not just a pen. Let me tell you a story where this pen came from and what we're going to do with this pen and what we're going to do after we go, and then what this is what pen does. So this is just how my mind works. And when you come to a different country, it's a challenge. I think for me personally, and this is a very personal answer, is that I love a challenge that tests my ability. So if there's a challenge and I can put myself on a challenge and be a competitor, I know that it doesn't matter if I win or lose, I will gain something, whether that's skills. So I feel that competition has helped me. And I decided a long time ago that a lot of times people have misunderstood what I was saying. They were asking me to repeat myself over and over again, or they make this face like, oh, I don't know what he just said. Should I just pretend to know what he said? Should I just pretend to continue the conversation? So I wanted to be as clear as possible. And in my business, precision is power. Precision in messaging, precision in communication is power. Every word, every sequence, every sentence creates a meaning. And I take very great care to select my words with precision. And that's what I teach my clients. So I think it's just, what do you want? Do you want to be a communicator of value with precision, or whatever it is that in your industry that you want to achieve? And then you just have to go with it. That's my answer to your question. I hope this helped.
Very
Thank you very much.
That was great. Next, please.
Hello, I am Rajesh from India.
Hi, Rajesh.
Yeah, I have seen these Tedx speakers are always confined to the red carpet, whereas in ToastMasters, the whole stage is yours. You can move around a lot. What is your personal style and what is it you are comfortable with?
That's a great question. I think I think there's two questions that come to mind. Number one, what is the objective? What is the objective of this talk? Is my objective, I only have 5 minutes, and is my objective to, what do I want my audience to do? Do I want them to buy a product, buy a book, sign up, whatever it is that we want to do? And if you know what your objective is, that dictates everything else. If you need to walk into the audience and get to the people's faces, like not that close, but a little bit closer. So my goal is I like to be very fluid. So I just ask myself a question: what is the objective, and how can I serve that objective? And that way, I can move on stage appropriately. In my personal preference, I love walking around. I love walking around left, right, and then sometimes when the moment strikes, or the talk or the piece of communication calls for it, I just stand still and I just move my body a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and make sure I have a very warm and connecting type of eye contact. So my eye contact is also means a lot, right? Because when we hear someone on stage, while PowerPoint, the slides, and visuals are very important, what people really care about is your face. They don't, I mean, they care about what's on the slides, yes, but your face is your most important visual tool. So if you can learn just to manipulate or the way that you can present your face, you will be head and shoulders above all other speakers. So the face first, and then and also with body that comes with it as well. And also with the body language and moving on stage, your audience is also craving, looking for congruency. So if you are unsure or a little bit hesitant about a topic or an idea, it will leak out from your fingers. It will leak out from your feet. It will leak out from your body and will telegraph to your audience different message. And when you have one message from your mouth, another message from your body, people will believe the body every time. So you have to make sure you have a congruence. So if you need to move around for congruence, move around. If you need to stand and use your face and eyes for congruence, stand. I hope this helps.
Very well, very well. Thank you very much. Next, please.
Hello,
Yes.
it's me, Mahbub Ilyas from Kerala.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
Okay. Fine, sir. How are you? What about you?
I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Tell me what's on your mind.
I am very glad to meet you here. Now you are expert in many area. According to you, among these, which one helped you more to serve people?
Wow.
What was the last part?
Okay, you are an expert in various areas. Now, which area did actually help you to serve the people, to serve the community?
Wow, such a great question. I love it. I love the depth and curiosity that you are showing and sharing with me. If I have to be real and look you in the eye and open my heart, open my palms, because I want to be connected, I would say the biggest area of strength and expertise that I have is connecting with people, diverse people, and showing compassion. And what I have learned is that if we focus on our strength, if we can do something that only we can do higher than anyone else, I think we can succeed a lot faster. So I feel that because, visitor from another country, world traveler, it gives me a perspective, and it probably gives you a perspective of diverse cultures, diverse languages, diverse ways of life. And it makes you curious about the other person. So in that curiosity, I feel that I can create a connection. And in that connection, I see the other person, I hear them, I acknowledge them, and I really see them. And I think not a lot of people have that ability or even want this ability or even need it, but it's just something that I think I have been gifted with. I think is ability to connect with diverse people and create connection quicker and more deeper. So I think a lot of people appreciate being seen. And I think what ToastMasters does, in addition to helping you with leadership and communication skills, critical thinking, personal skills, but it also allows you to be seen because you are forced to, asked to speak in front of your peers. And little by little, you are acknowledged. And I think there's no better feeling when somebody sees you and notices you and acknowledges you in a real way.
Wow,
Thank you, sir.
that was powerful. That was powerful. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Mark. Let's move on to the next person. Next, please.
Hello,
Yeah. Yes, please. Introduce yourself and where are you from?
I'm Amjad from Kerala, India.
Okay.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hope you are well.
Thank you. I hope you are well as well.
Okay, thanks. Sir, who is your best teacher and which book influenced you most and changed your life?
Okay. Who's your best teacher and which is the book that actually changed your life for the better?
Whew. Just one book? It's impossible. How can you just say one book? Give me the whole library. Right? One book. Whew, that is a tough question.
But there will be one most influenced book. There will be one like
Okay.
that.
Okay, I can. Sure, I'm happy to answer. So the best teacher who have helped me, right, in the book, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's my mentor, my teacher, Beverly. She's a fellow Toastmaster. She is the teacher. She's retired now, but she taught English as second language her entire life. And she's so warm and so welcoming. And she's very genuine to support you. So I think just spending time with her have helped me, kind of borrow some of those qualities to be warm and welcoming and to be very tough, but at the same time very kind. If you can be kind and tough at the same time, I think that's the key, right? So she was a teacher and she taught me quite a bit. And because of her, I feel I'm a better man. I'm a better human being. So I want to make sure that I will call her later and thank her. But I do that quite often. I call her quite often and thank her. The book that I think that has helped me the most is it's a book came out about 10 years ago. And it's by an American author called Kevin Hall. The name of the book is Aspire, A-S-P-I-R-E. And the subtitle is Finding Your Purpose or Meaning Through the Power of Words, something like that. And it's written in a story format. It's about Kevin Hall, the author, how he is encountering different people in his life. So he chose a word per chapter. For example, courage, coach, vision, integrity, in a few other words as well. And he goes deep into each meaning of each word. He has stories, anecdotes from all over the world. And the book is not that thick. It's very easy to read. It's written in a way that anyone can understand. And when that book came to me in that point in my life, I didn't know a lot about coaches or personal development. For some reason, that book came into my hands. And while there's many other books, maybe even better, maybe better authors, that book really touched my heart because it was really simple to read and it came possibly at the right time. So I would say Aspire by Kevin Hall. And I recommend it highly. And then years later, I see that John C. Maxwell and many others were inspired by the same book, which I didn't even realize at the time.
Wow, that's great. All the team members who are here, they're actually going through a book which is written by John Maxwell. And the name of that, as you must be knowing for sure, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. Yeah, that's a beautiful book, and everyone who comes into PSP level 1, they go through that book.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good question, Amjad. Who's next?
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, introduce yourself and you can ask the question, please. Yeah. That's George online. George, you are there online.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, George.
Mark. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here.
Fine. Yeah, fine. First of all, I'm thanking you and Sensei for giving the good opportunity for us. In your talk, initially you said about the behavioral study and the presenting while we are before starting the session. and ending the session beautifully. Then laughing techniques. My question is, what strategy did you use to deal the people with variable mindset in your session?
Okay. So your question, if I heard it correctly, how do I manage people who have a different mindset than me
That's
during
good.
my?
No,
Yes.
not different from you. There could be people with different mindset. Your audience are coming from different mindset and background. How do you deal with a crowd which are coming from different backgrounds and different mindsets?
Well, of course, everyone has different mindset. Even in this call, everyone does. It's excellent question, George. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little secret. Would you like to know a secret, George?
Yeah. How many of you know?
Yeah,
Say yes.
definitely.
How many of you want to know BOI? BOI, bring it on. Come on, type BOI. Bring it on. Type. Let's see how many BOIs are coming. Okay, Shamir. Okay, Amina. Okay, go ahead. I want to see a lot of BOIs. Okay, there you go. There you go, Mark. All of that for you. Okay, bring it on. Bring it on.
Okay. All right. Well, since you asked, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Of course, everyone has a different mindset. And you're not responsible for their mindset. You're not responsible where they came from or even where they will be going afterwards. So in your session, whether that's a workshop, class, or short talk, 5 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it is, when you talk about things that unite us, universal, when you are talking about things that are very honest and everyone on this planet can relate to, almost everyone has a mom, right?
Yeah.
Some people have relatives, some people, like whatever, almost everyone has their heart broken, had their heart broken at one point in time. Almost everyone has dealt with a loss of some sort. When you are talking about your failures, your flaws, your frustrations, or your first attempts, you can build a rapport. And when you are honest, when you're vulnerable, when you're truly revealing, and of course, you have to make it work with your personality, with your type of speaking. I just chose to always speak in a very honest way and be revealing as much as I can, because I feel that, because one of my writing teachers, her name is Jean Reynolds, Dr. Jean Reynolds. She's a professor of literature. She said, when you're writing something, like, written, typing out, you have maybe 3, 4, 5, 7 seconds to grab your reader by, whatever it is, and never let them go. Same in speaking.
Yep.
If you don't grab your audience, or it doesn't have to be funny or humorous, speeches are not always conversations, but it has to feel like a conversation to the audience. It has to feel, they have to experience it as if you are talking to that one person. So in that moment, they will forget about their tooth, about their car. They will forget anything. All they see, if you engage them, if you are talking about things that are universal, they will pay attention to you. You will pay attention to them. So in that moment, you own this moment right here, right now. What happens afterwards, it is really sometimes up to you, sometimes not. A lot of times I ask my clients or attendees or audience members as an invitation to continue a conversation, whether that's doing more deeper work or doing another seminar. So everyone has different mindset. And not that I don't care, I do care, and I welcome it, but it's never stopped me before. It's not to be afraid. Of course, everyone is going to have a different mindset, but you are so focused on serving your audience right there in that moment. If that is not magnetic, I don't know what is.
Wow, that
Hello,
was
hello.
that was. Let me complete something here. That was so powerful, and in Mark, Mark actually touched 4 major points. Number 1, he talked about hooking your audience. You hook your audience as soon as you get on stage. That's number 1. Number 2, he spoke about the power of one. Did you watch that? He spoke about the power of one. Number 3, he spoke about good leaders, they only look at the performance, but great leaders, they look what happens after the performance. And that's why he was talking about what can we do next? There was one more point which Mark actually touched. I just forgot about it. There are 4 major points that he touched right now, and these are key points when it comes to presentation or speaking and connecting with your audience. Very good, Mark. Thank you very much. Who's next, please?
I am Mohammed
Hi,
Noman.
guy.
Mohammed Noman first, and then we'll give it to the next person. Yes, please.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I am Mohammed Noman from Kerala. I'm greatly thankful to Sensei and Mark to give me opportunity to ask question. Okay, Mark, I hope you are doing well.
Thank you. You as well.
Yeah, thank you. And you said you are happy. That's what I want to ask. Okay, what makes you more happy, or what does the word happiness mean to you?
Wow, that is a beautiful, deep question. So Farookh, just help me out. So can you just repeat again? So
Yeah.
what makes me happy? Is that right?
Yeah, you spoke about happy. So what does happiness mean to you? Is that correct, Noman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked you two questions in a single
yeah.
frame. In a single frame. That what makes you happy, and what does the word happiness mean to you?
Okay.
Okay. If I could answer what makes me happy, I mean, I would have all the answers in the world. It's so difficult, right? You know, it's always change. It's always fluid. But I think what remains constant is the well-being of my loved ones. You know, well-being of my family. If they're doing good, that makes me happy, because I feel that part of my identity as a man and as a human is a part of my community, and that community includes people in my inner circle and my family. So if they're happy, their well-being is taken care of, and they're working, doing good, then I'm happy. And so that's what I would say. So I don't know if that answered both of them or just one. And why am I happy? Because
what does the word happiness? Yeah.
What does the word happiness mean to you?
I think you will have as many answers as there are people. What does that mean to me is being content where you are right now, being content right here, right now. And I'm not talking about being fake. I had a conversation with my friend. He is also from Russia, and we take walks around the lake, and I tell him about my work. He's an engineer. He's a computer scientist, and he's always like, okay, tell me about this, tell me about that. And I'm just saying, Pavel, I'm just happy. I'm just happy because, you know, I'm walking here with you. I'm grateful because, you know, I get to spend time in gratitude, reflect. And he said, well, that sounds like a fake happiness to me. And I said, no, it's not fake. It's real to me. You know, I'm just happy in this moment. I'm not looking what's going to happen tomorrow on Monday, what's going to happen tonight. I am here right now, here with you. I'm not thinking about anything else. And I feel that being present in this moment is real reason for my happiness. Because when I was younger, I was always thinking, okay, when I'm going to be 30 years old, when I'm going to be 35 or 40, whatever it is, I'm going to have this type of thing, this type of accomplishment. And then I realized that that type of thinking, you know, it's only, you know, it's out of your hands. How can you be happy right now with what you can build, with what you can own? And I own this moment right here in my life. And that's what makes me happy.
Thank you for your response.
Is that amazing? Is that amazing? If it is amazing, type amazing in the chat box. And he spoke about his family as well. He spoke about the wellness of his family. When his family is well, he's content with that. Good.
And
Yes.
one just comment, not question, that your smile is too good. It's attractive one. Yeah. Thank you. Keep smile.
Thank you. I'm so glad you brought this up. A lot of my clients are coming to me, and they're both men and women, right? And they're very serious engineers and very serious entrepreneurs. They're changing the world, and they're making beautiful products and making lives better. And I listen to them, and I watch them very closely with camera, and I'm listening to their pitches for funding, for investors, and how they are trying to describe their business and their market marketing strategy. And then after all this work, I look at them and I say, okay, can you just smile for me just a little bit? Can you just smile for me? And they say, okay, I'll smile for you, Mark. And I say, no. You don't do it for me. You do it for the people. You do it for the people because that's what people want.
Absolutely. Wow. Powerful.
Hi, Mark guys.
Hello.
I'm Hannah from India.
Hello.
Yes, Hannah.
I have a question. Who's your role model and why?
Who's your role model and why?
That's such a good question. Who is my role model? Okay, I'll be honest with you. If you have listened to my TEDx, it's my mom. I always talk about my mom because the sacrifice that she has made and her care for the children and just her ability to think in a very strategic forms. So I would just say that my mom, our moms, they never leave us. They're always in our hearts and always in our lives. I hope this answer is, satisfactory to you. It's the honest one. It's my mom because I love my mom and she's my role model. And probably we haven't always seen eye to eye, and there's always sometimes tension or conflict or maybe a negotiation of some sort. But there's a very deep respect and very deep love and admiration. And I admire the way that she always taught me that everyone deserves respect. Whether you like them or not, everyone deserves respect. And she taught me that since I was a little boy, and that everything she taught me since I was a little child, I use now as an adult. And so that's why.
Wow. Great answer. Great answer. Connection. Yes, please. Next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Hi,
Mujib.
Mark. Yeah, how are you? Hi.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Good to see you, Majib.
Yeah, I'm Mujib Rahman from Saudi Arabia.
Welcome.
Yeah. My question is, which one is the best program ever you conducted? And the program give you the break in your career. Which one is that one? And what is the feedback from your audience?
I just want to make sure I understand your question. Are you talking about like a coaching program or a training program?
No. What was the program? What was the training? What was the training program? Especially, he's talking about the speeches that you did. What was the program that really changed your life?
Yes.
If I understood you correctly, would that be ToastMasters or no?
Yeah, something like that. Yes, he's talking about the same.
Okay.
And which was the event? He was talking about the event, which is the event that actually turned you into a brand.
Oh, event?
Yeah.
ToastMasters. I think ToastMasters, it's one of the best training programs that is available, and it's community based. It's immediate feedback. It's experiential. I do want to say that just doing ToastMasters will not be the final destination. It is a tool. It is a tool that will help you. I think you have to be very specific for your industry, right? A lot of times when you want to move people, either inspire them, encourage them, you have to really speak to them in their words and even talk about their pain or their dreams they didn't even know they had. If you can become this proficient and so understanding of your audience, ToastMasters will help, but also your industry, whatever the industry language you use, your audience, what is the real language of your audience? So ToastMasters probably was one of those accelerators, but I don't see it as a final destination. It is very powerful tool. And you, in your toolbox, you have to think, okay, this is the time that I have. What is going to give me the biggest return on my investment? How can I put myself in the toughest, in the most challenging situation that helps me grow as a human, as a speaker, as a professional, and go for that? Toastmaster has been it. And I also am a self-learner. if I could, I pull out my library card, right? This is my biggest program, my library card, because I don't just read one book. I read 5-10 books at a time. So I think that is, and not only do I read those books, I write reports to myself on those books, and I share it with my class and with my family, with my sister, and I do videos because I want to hold myself accountable. So I think ToastMasters, library, and also I create mastermind groups and accountability groups where I live, not just one, but many, because it keeps me on track. If I do it by myself, I may or may not do it as fast or as efficiently, but when I have accountability and checks, you have to really know how you grow, right? There's no one answer, I feel, and I hope this is the honest answer for you. You have to know yourself so well that you know the environment, the people, and the systems where you thrive. So if you look back when you were most successful, see if you can replicate that or build that and implement that in your life. And when you are really honest and look back when you were successful, look at those factors and make sure you're in them. And I think that will help you.
Wow, that was powerful. And here, if you had watched, Mark mentioned about reading the book, writing the books, making reports on it, and then speaking about it to others. These are the steps he took. And that's exactly what we do with level 1. We ask you to read the book, which is Everyone Communicates and Few Connect. We ask you to write it. When you go to the level 2 for the next batch onwards, it's about to speak what you wrote. You got me? So I'm giving you the challenge now itself. When you go to level 2, one of the challenges is to go back to the report that you wrote, and now you'll be speaking about it on the camera. Thank you very much, Mark. Next, please.
Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Yes.
Myself,
Who is that?
Anish. Yeah, Anish. Myself, Anish from Kerala, India.
Hello. Is it Anish? Okay.
Anish.
Yes, yes. Okay. You are speaking from your heart. That's why you are in our heart. You are very close to us.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a simple question. What is your future plan as a speaker? Am I audible?
Yeah. What's your future plan, Mark, as a speaker?
Yeah.
It's a great plan. Okay, so personally, I have been on this journey on professional speaking for the last 10 years. I speak in front of audiences, children, professionals, adults, many different ages and many different walks of life. What I have learned now is that speaking right now is not my final destination. It is a tool. It is a tool of how I'll be connecting with my future communities. And I feel that if I want my ideas to be communicated, at least reflected upon, I have to be an exceptional communicator. I am working, as you know, I teach others how to communicate, specifically in sales, public speaking, and leadership. And I have been working on this new project, which I think is going to be a collection and accumulation of everything I learned in the last 10 years. But it's not about speaking. It's about a way of life. And in order for me to communicate that well, I have to be the best speaker I can be. So speaking, yes, I probably will do more TEDx talks and more conferences, maybe virtual, like right now on Zoom and in person, but it's not my final destination. Right now, I feel my final destination is this new project I'm working on, and speaking is required. You cannot wish it, you cannot dream it, you have to act it. You have to take action. I hope this answers your question.
Absolutely.
Yes, very clear. Thank you so much.
Okay, before we go, I'm seeing Anish for the very first time, and Anish has actually, when I heard his story, it was really amazing. Though you see a very cheerful person in front of you, I asked about his story. Anish, when he was young, he was crossing the railway track. He had to jump to the platform. Is that correct, Anish? Yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
I had to try to cross the railway track. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to cross the railway track unfortunately hit and he fell down on the track and the train ran over him. And the boy that you're seeing right now with that smiley face is a motivational speaker with one arm and one leg. Just say how when I was speaking to him yesterday, he said that I may not be having one arm and one leg, but mentally I'm fully fit. How many of you love him? Say, I love him. Say, I love you. How many of you love him? That's called the courage. That's called the confidence. That's called the positive attitude. And now he's changing the world by his speeches in different schools and teachers and so forth. Welcome to the family, Anish. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sensei and team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next,
please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. And may please introduce yourself?
I am Bobanjar from India, Kerala.
Hi, Boban. Yes, please.
My question is, what is your biggest dream in your life?
Mark, what's your biggest dream in your life? I know that you spoke about it, but however, you can go.
The biggest dream in my life? Okay. It changes, right? It changes. I dreamt to be a Tedx speaker. I got it. I dreamt to be a champion in ToastMasters. I got it. I dreamt to have my own business, and helping my clients. Working through it and getting it. I think the biggest dream right now is, and I will share this with you. Every person believes and knows they have something in their life, in their heart, right? There's this very personal, very intimate, very deep, maybe desire or a dream, and you know what that dream is, right? You know what it is. And I think every time we're not fully doing this, or at least not building, I think we either get depressed or we get discouraged or we lose our enthusiasm. So my dream right now is that project I've been working on. It will allow me to travel even more, to reach more people, and to really, truly speak from my heart almost every day. And if this is not a dream, I don't know what is. It is, of course, it is for my dream. So I'm working on it every day, and it's a lot of times when you do what you love, it's not work, right? When you do what you love, it's how you are content and happy and grateful. So I get to speak to people and share and inspire them and awaken something in them they didn't know they had or forgotten or gave up.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can, even after I finish speaking, after the seminar, after the talk, they start thinking by themselves on their own time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the real change. And so my biggest dream right now is I'm working on it right now. So Farookh, you have to have me back in a few months so I can tell you how I'm doing.
For sure. Right. We'll be going for point 2.0 for sure. We'll be having that.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. We got time for two more questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Boban. Thank you. Let's take two more questions, please. Yep.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hi, this is Rashid from Dubai. Hi, Mark, Guy, and Sensei.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I have one question because I've been seeing three types of speakers who are strong in their message, speakers who are strong in their presentation, and speakers who are strong in the language as well. What is more important for a speaker, whether it is the message or the presentation or the language?
That's a tough question. But I will answer. So so I just want to make sure I repeat it in my head, make sure I got it.
Uh-huh.
So your question was, you really want to know, you're really curious to find out what is the most important, presentation, delivery, or language?
Yeah. Message or presentation or the language.
Of course, everyone will have their own answer. From my humble experience that I have seen, and I had very diverse and gracious mentors over the years. And one of my mentors is a doctor. She is a PhD, another teacher too. I have a lot of mentors who are doctors and teachers. And she said, Mark, every time you give a presentation, every time you give a talk, you are given a gift from you to your audience. And a lot of times, if you know Maya Angelou, right? Maya Angelou is a she's an author. She passed away. She's an American author. She said this: people will forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So as a speaker, somebody who really wants to make a difference in your life, and especially in the life of your audience, how will you make people feel after you are done talking? Are they going to feel like, oh, okay, I'm hungry, let's go eat, all right, or let's go watch something, or let's do something? Or how will you make them feel at that moment? So to answer your question, what is the most important? I think how you made your audience feel, and whatever that takes. If you want to, a lot of times in ToastMasters and Tedx and the presentations, we refer to it as a scripted language, written, crafted language. And a crafted language allows the sequence in a brain to receive information in a priming sequence, so that people will start thinking towards what you want to say, right? If you have your sequence out of order, or you say something beforehand, or you should have said, because you didn't take the time to craft and script the language, your message may fail, may not reach it. So I feel that it's a combination of everything. But I think language is probably I'll give more value, more weight, because it's a scripted, there's a sequence, how we want to receive information in order for us to take action. But if it's presented poorly, without passion, then we're like, oh, okay, good language, but something is missing. And that could be the final push. So I would say focus on crafting the language in a proper sequence, so that gets you to the right objective.
Wow. Very good. Very good.
Thank you, Mark.
Good evening, Mark.
Good evening.
This is Manohar Rao from
Hello.
from Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. Welcome.
I want to ask you a question. Can you share some tips how to bring humor in your speech?
Okay, so the question was how to bring
humor in your speech.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm laughing. Okay, just take a mental break. Start laughing, then the people will laugh. Okay, all right. You have to know your audience, right? You have to know your audience. Is it true that in some parts of the world, humor may be different than in America? Yes, it is different, right? In some parts of the world, people will find this funny, or this funny, or something else is funny. So I can only tell you how to bring humor into North America. The United States. So please forgive me, because that's what, I'm not qualified to talk about humor outside, because I don't know. And I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to offend people. So I will tell you this. The safest way that I have found to find humor is humor truly is everywhere. If you decide in your mind that you can uncover and see humor in your everyday life, you will bring that to your right audience in your talks. I have notebooks in my phone and written that I write down all the things that are happening to me throughout the day, or somebody said something funny, or I'm going to funny. Okay, let me write this down because this could be funny. And then I test it. And then I test it for my audience. I test it with my colleagues in my mastermind. So if you decide in your brain, in your mind, that humor is everywhere, that's step number one. Step number two, capture it, write it down, have the prompts, and then you can remember it. And also when you are talking to someone And don't tell them, okay, let me tell you a funny story. No, 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 no. Just say, let me tell you a story. And they will decide whether it's funny or not. Because when you tell them it's funny, they're like, okay, make me, like humor me. And they have their defenses up. Just say, hey, listen, I want to tell you something. And if it's funny, it's a bonus, and you made another friend, or you made them like you even more. And the final thing I want to say is self-deprecating humor. So if you make fun of yourself, you give the permission to everyone in your audience to laugh with you, and sometimes at themselves. You lower the barrier, you lower the guard, and you create a connection. When you can make fun of yourself, not be so serious, but understand that there's humor as part of life, and make fun of yourself, people will love you for it. I hope this helps. It helps in the United States. I don't know in other parts of the world. I hope this is helpful.
Very well said. Very well said.
very
Yeah,
much.
you become the target of your own humor. Very well. So it's
Can I ask you something?
yes, please. Where are you from? Just introduce yourself. We'll take that as the last question. Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Riaz from Dubai.
Riaz. Okay. Hi, Riaz. Riaz from Dubai.
Hi,
Okay.
Mark.
How are you?
Hi,
Welcome.
Mark. Yeah. How are you?
Good, good.
Yeah. Can I ask you something?
Please do. I'm here for you.
Yeah. How do you keep your positive vibe?
How do you maintain your positive vibe?
Yeah.
There's so much negativity in this world. There's so much. Okay, Tony Robbins, right? You ever heard of Tony Robbins?
Yes.
The great
Yeah,
motivation. Okay.
Yeah.
He said, if you argue for your limitations, you will get to keep them.
Okay.
So if you want to be negative, that's who you become. So that's what it is. But if you have the positivity, and a lot of times it's not easy, right? It's not easy at all. But I think it's a choice, because you have a choice. Be positive, be a leader that others people can look up to and really need to lead them and be a role model, or you can be the opposite. Which one is better? Do you want to be positive? You want to be remembered? Do you want to lead your family, your community, because you know that there's challenges, but you don't have to live in those challenges? You can create and build a better future, or you can be the other way. It's a choice, and it's a choice you have to make. So I hope this helps.
Absolutely. And if you recall, what Mark right now said is that you have to become the commander of your life. Very simple as that. And the second thing that Mark said here is about the garbage in, garbage out. If you take the garbage, then automatically you become the garbage, because it's only garbage all over. So with that, yes, Mark, you are about to say something?
That's right. Our brains, I decided a long time ago, my brain can only handle so much. So it doesn't matter. It's negative. That's all we'll take. So I have to make sure you gotta put it in with the positive, because I only can hold so much information. I don't have any space for negative, please. And then the more you think about it, it becomes of your part of life.
Yeah.
And then you just wake up and you think, I'm grateful to be here right now. I am grateful to own this moment. And when you do that, other people will understand this on a level below consciousness. They'll be drawn to your disposition, and they will be curious to know where is this coming from? Please share with us. Please teach us, or let's collaborate.
Absolutely. Before you all go, and before I thank Mark, I want to ask you all a question. how many of you, those who are here right now, how many of you have a LinkedIn account? Just say I. Just go there and say I. A LinkedIn account. Very good. Great. Now, my second question is, how many of you, or in other words, how many of you think that Mark in this 1 hour and few minutes added value to your life? Type we, the letter we. How many of you think that Mark really added value to your life? Okay. And now it's a request from me. Those who are on LinkedIn, I would like you all to go and connect with Mark. Everyone go and connect with Mark. You can learn from what is happening in his professional life. And number two, the most important thing is recommend Mark. Go and put your recommendation, because it's very important being a professional. If you recommend somebody, going back and putting your text, that would help Mark also to create his own or expand his brand. And especially you all are coming from different countries right now, that would really help him. And in other words, you get more connected. Through his connection, you'll get more connection. It's all about win-win, and that's what we are doing here. Mark does not have to come and sit and talk to you or to me. Mark doesn't take even a single penny for this. And he's a person, he's a professional speaker. He charges huge amount. He conducts training program for entrepreneurs, that is how to speak. But he has left all those things, and this is a connection that we have built. That's a relationship that he has built with us. That's the human being within that speaker or a leader. So you as an individual, everyone, please go do it today or tomorrow. Put the best writing that you can do that can support Mark, and that would definitely help you in return. So thank you very much, Mark, for such a wonderful talk and the conversation that you had with us. And thank you very much for adding value to me and to the entire team. Each and every word that you said is powerful, meaningful, and that is wisdom. Thank you once again from all of us from India.
Thank you so much, Farookh. I look forward to connecting with all of you on LinkedIn and other ways, and good luck on your journey.
Thank you, and same to you. And when we have the version 3.0, we'll be listening to your new project.
Thank you. I'll be happy to share.
Thanks a lot. You take care.
Thank you.